Y'all know we had to go live for this topic. So go ahead and click the subscribe button, like the video, and let's get straight to it and what Timothy Bradley had to say. You know, Timothy Bradley came out and stated that Crawford is the #1 pound for pound. However, if Lomachenko beats Campbell, and depending on how he beats Campbell, he might put Lomachenko as pound for pound #1. Now, my question is, he said the same thing when Lomachenko went up and fought Linares. What's up, Beard Down? Hey, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to go live. So, I don't understand Timothy Bradley, because when Lomachenko moved up to the 135-pound division and fought Linares, he stated during that fight that Crawford is my guy. However, I got to be honest and you know, and say that Lomachenko is pound for pound #1. He said that then. Now he came out again and stated that Crawford is pound for pound, but depending on how Lomachenko looked against Campbell, if he dominates them, then he could take that spot. So I'm like, man, I thought Timothy Bradley, I thought Terence Crawford is your guy. And how can you say that Lomachenko is pound for pound #1 when he fought Corolla his last fight, a guy that's not even ranked on the top 10? You know, so people complain about Terence Crawford and who he been fighting lately because he don't have no option. He called out Errol Spence. He called out Lomachenko. He said if y'all think Lomachenko is pound for pound #1, we could link up. We could meet up on 137. Oh, and that's why Lomachenko didn't claim he was pound for pound #1. He stayed quiet. You see, like, he waited till Lomachenko he waited till Terence Crawford moved up to the 147-pound division, and now he started claiming he's pound for pound #1. You know, ain't that ironic? So that's why Lomachenko was humble the whole time, is because he didn't want no smoke with Terence Crawford. He never claimed he was pound for pound #1. But what's funny to me is Timothy Bradley, I thought that's your guy. I thought you put Terence Crawford on the scene. So why would you say Lomachenko is pound for pound #1 when he only got 13 fights with 1 loss to a man that he never fought again because he didn't want to face that style, that Mexican style of fighting again? He could claim he wanted more money, but the real reason he didn't want to fight a washed-up version of Salido again is because he didn't want them problems again and get exposed or even look bad in the fight. What's up, Aki? King in the house. Timothy Bradley. Butter biscuit here with extra honey on it. My boy going off on him. He said, "You a hater, bro." Yeah, I feel you on that, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's why a lot of fans keep calling Timothy Bradley a coon. I think it's because, like I said, he turning his back on his people. Like, Errol Spence is the people champion. You know, you got to keep that in mind. Randy, what's up, Randy? You know, I'm driving, by the way, so I'm trying to keep my eye on the road. You know what I'm saying? I'm multitasking over here. But my boy said Timothy Bradley still suffering brain damage from the Promotin fight. Man, hey, it got to be something. Because, like I said, Timothy Bradley, you know, when he fought Pacquiao and won the Pacquiao fight, but a lot of people thought Pacquiao won, right? And then the Pactars started sending him threats. So, you know, in the sport of boxing, you gotta have tough skin. You know, you're gonna have haters. And he was getting mad support at the time. And I know that because I saw the support he was getting. And the same people that support Errol Spence today is the people that supported him then. So how you gonna turn your back on your peoples and talk about you don't want to promote Errol Spence, you tired to talk about him? No, you were bashing Errol Spence. And then it ended up, you know, firing back at you because people started questioning you why you ducked him. Because you saying Errol Spence is ducking Terence Crawford because there's no other side of the street. Then when they say why you didn't fight Errol Spence, you're talking about, oh, he was on the other side of the street. It's like, bro, did you forget what you said last week? So you mad at that. And like I said, the same people that support Errol Spence today are the same people that supported you when you were going through your hard time. I used to say, and I used to agree with Dante when he used to say, you know, Timothy Bradley, you can make a movie about him, like his story and stuff. But you can no longer do that because you ruined the ending of the movie. It don't, like, it's okay if you lost to Pacquiao twice after that, but the biggest problem is the fact that you're hating on your own peoples. You know, you hating on Errol Spence, like, and you try to say, oh, and people try to say, peep this, they try to say, oh, is Errol Spence ain't that big of a draw as Mikey Garcia on his last fight. I'm like, since when Mikey Garcia been this huge star? Last I remember, when Mikey Garcia fought Broner, that was a big fight. They did like what, 700 to 800,000 views on Showtime. Then he fought a big fight again against I forgot his name, at 135, Broner boy. He beat him, right? That was an okay fight. Then Errol Spence, he fought an unknown Campbell. Like, I didn't even know who he was. He was just a guy coming from Mexico. Errol Spence, #1 mandatory. That's all we knew about him. And Errol Spence sold 15,000 tickets in Cowboys training stadium, right? Who knew Campbell? All the tickets Errol Spence sold by himself. But people try to take credit away from Errol by saying, oh, it's not Errol Spence. It's Mikey Garcia who sold that fight. Man, half of them fans, or more so, more than half of them fans were Errol Spence fans. But like I said, Errol Spence got the support of the people, his own people and fans and hardcore boxing fans. Now, Timothy Bradley, you only had the support of your own people. Trust me, no matter what you try to do or what you try to say to please the Lomachenko fans, the Pacquiao fans, no matter how you try to fight in order to please those fans, they don't care about you. They don't care about your style. Don't believe all that, oh, he born, he not, when you try to go toe-to-toe with Promotin to prove that you are action-packed after the Pacquiao first fight. None of that mattered. If you lost, they would have loved you. They only hated you because you beat a Pacquiao. It don't matter even if you did rob him, even if you beat him for real to them. They will still hate you. Look at how they hate Floyd. It's because he beat a Pacquiao also. So Timothy Bradley need to realize it don't matter what you do. If you win against their own, like Pacquiao at the time, then they hate you for that. I don't care if it was the most boring fight in the world and Pacquiao beat you, they will love you to death. But because, like I said, you beat him and then you try to fight him the second time toe-to-toe to get the Manny Pacquiao fans on your side, man, that ain't gonna happen. Like I said, now you don't even have your own people on your side because you hating on the truth Errol Spence, the only guy that really wanted all the smart man down. You know, you hating on the real, you hating on the truth, and Terrence Crawford is the truth too. But you don't even support your man all the way. You talking about Lomachenko, #1 pound for pound, even though he ducked Manny Pacquiao, even though, you know, I like Lomachenko, but I can't deny the fact that he turned down a fight with Salido. He didn't want to fight Salido in a rematch. He didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao. I mean, how can you turn down a Manny Pacquiao fight, man? But let me read the comments real quick. King, what's up? Nobody listened to Tarcors. They're the same people that swear that the doctors the slow motion Floyd Mayweather video after. That's what I'm saying. They keep saying that if you watch the fight in slow motion, you Pacquiao on the fight. I watched that fight in slow motion, and Pacquiao still lost the fight. You know, I even had somebody say, watch that shit. So like I stated, you know, at the end of the day, Timothy Bradley, you know, he could claim that he don't want to talk about Errol Spence, but if you are a boxing analyst, then, you know, you must answer the questions. You know, when they ask you about a certain fight, You know, why are you getting all up on your feelings unless you having personal hatreds toward Errol Spence? And that's what it looked like it is. It looked like he has personal hatred toward, you know, Errol Spence. That's why he don't like to talk about Errol Spence. But even so, you know, what about your guy, Terrence Crawford? You don't even support him all the way. You let Bob Arum and ESPN influence you. You know, they try to make it seem like Lomachenko is a fighter we never seen before. However, like I said, he lost to Salido. You know, it ain't like Lomachenko. He's a good talent, don't get me wrong, but he is overhyped because of the media. The media overhypes him. You know, when they claim he's the best since Muhammad Ali and stuff like that. When we just had a Floyd Mayweather, you know. So my boy said what happened. Like I said, I'm having, you know, my connection is kind of weak. King said, bro, Terrence Crawford was a free agent. He worked with ESPN, the Zone, PBC, whatever he wanted on a contract fight basis. So I don't know. I think, but Terrence Crawford, ain't he's signed to a contract though. His contract should be up this year. So if he re-signs with ESPN, I don't want to hear nothing about Errol Spence not wanting to fight Terrence Crawford, because you're a free agent. Why would you sign with ESPN to let a promoter take 30% of your money when you could go straight to PBC and fight Errol Spence and take the whole bag yourself? You know what I'm saying? And when all the big names are with the PBC. But like I said, I respect Terrence Crawford and I respect his grind, you know, so I don't got no problem with that. Randy said, no worries, we in the building. You already know. The real Aki's in the building. So, you know, like I said, Timothy Bradley, he be disappointing me time and time again. He done ruined the ending of his movie. If you know, Dante always says, you know, Bradley's story deserves a movie, but he ruined the ending. When he start hating on his own people, when he start, you know, just talking from his feelings, not his brain. So Timothy Bradley, like I stated, you know, he not making any sense when he says he don't want to promote Errol Spence. When he stay bashing Errol Spence, you know, Bob Arum and Terrence Crawford both already stated Errol Spence wants to fight, and he already in contact with them to make that fight happen, and it's in the work for 2020. So what are you talking about, Bradley? Like I said, the only time you open your mouth about Errol Spence, you bashing him. Is it jealousy? Is it hatred? I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, like I said, if you got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all, you know. So he probably should have learned a thing or two from his boy Andre Ward, you know, since he hanging out with him all the time. I believe he should, like, you know, take a thing or two from him. Toronto at the building. Okay. Hey, who's hot over there now? You know, I know obviously Drake is the hottest in the city, but I know y'all be having a lot of upcoming artists and shit like that. I thought Polo G was from over there, but it turned out Polo G was from Brooklyn, my city. Stop playing. But he be copying A Boogie style though. He be buying off A Boogie, the melody shit. But at the end of the day, like I stated, you know, time and time again, you know, Bradley, he need to cool it down. He need to be, you know, honest with himself and honest with the people, and just tell it like it is. Like I said, you know, if you believe Lomachenko is pound for pound #1, okay, fine, that's your opinion. But, you know, stop claiming Terrence Crawford is your boy. You know, like I stated time and time again, if Lomachenko won titles in 3 different weight divisions, Terrence Crawford did as well. And Terrence Crawford, he became the undisputed champion at 140. You know, he didn't just win a title at 140. He became the undisputed champion. He moved up and killed Jeff Horn. You know, we could all agree probably Pacquiao beat Jeff Horn, but you saw what Terrence Crawford did to Jeff Horn? Man, he bullied him. He killed him. So I don't want to hear nothing about no Terrence Crawford, you know, that Lomachenko accomplished more than him, because he didn't. Terrence Crawford never lost a fight. Been in the pro game for way longer. You know, if I'm dominant in the, like, let's say in basketball for 10 years and win, like, rings like back to back and stuff, and there's another team that won, rings for like 2 years, and they start comparing them to me, I'm be mad as hell. I'm like, man, I've been doing this over a decade. Terrence Crawford been doing this for a decade, and y'all gonna compare Lomachenko accomplishments to him? Lomachenko don't bring up his amateur BS, because y'all didn't bring up Riggins' amateur background when he was in the pros. So we talking about the pros. Pros is a different sport. We saw how the same guy who beat Shakur Stevenson in the Olympics, his first pro fighting a guy with 2 losses on his record, and like really and 2 draws with only 4 wins, managed to knock him down and beat him his first pro fight. So amateurs means nothing in the sport of boxing in the pros. It's a good look and a good payday when you first come to the sport, but at the end of the day, amateurs are a different sport than the pros. So you can't mix them accomplishments. And if it is, Andre Ward won a gold medal, haven't lost a fight since he was 12 years old. But Teddy Atlas, like I said back in the day, he told Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley, and Terrence Crawford to their face after Ward beat Kovalev and knocked him out, when Kovalev was the 3rd pound-for-pound fighter in the world, or the 2nd, and Terrence Crawford just finished unifying the division. He told them to their face, y'all not competing with each other. Y'all competing with Lomachenko, the guy that got 1 loss in 9 fights. Yeah, he's the #1 pound-for-pound. How disrespectful is that? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'd be mad as hell if somebody tell me that. Randy said Bradley tight because he got that duck over his head now. And he need to stop wearing a cap, because he be capping all the time. He need to stop wearing a cap, to be honest. Cover that bald head. Randy, you already know. Brooklyn in the building. We everywhere. You already know what time it is. So, like I said, ain't no hard feelings toward Bradley. Like I said, I supported Bradley time and time again when he fought Paveknikov. When whatever he did, I always supported the man. But like I said, it just bothers me when they see somebody up like Errol Spence and they start hating on him just because he's doing better than they did. Like I said, you got to have the it factor. Obviously not everybody is a pay-per-view star. Not everybody is, like for example, why Sugar Shane Mosley didn't become a pay-per-view star like Floyd Mayweather? If it's all about being Oscar De La Hoya, Sugar Shane Mosley moved up 2 weight divisions from lightweight to welterweight and fought Oscar De La Hoya and beat him in a war. So why he didn't become a pay-per-view star then, like Floyd Mayweather when he beat Oscar De La Hoya, when he moved up to the 154-pound division and fought Oscar De La Hoya and really chased him down, but he beat him not in the same style that Mosley beat Oscar in. And obviously Oscar fought Mosley in his prime, right? So how come Mosley didn't become a pay-per-view star? It's because you got to have that it factor. Errol Spence has the it factor, and he has the skill to back it up. Timothy Bradley didn't have the it factor. Andre Ward, he had the it factor. He just didn't have the, he had the skill, but he not much of a trash talker. He too nice, I believe. And also, he didn't have the fighters around him like Floyd did. Floyd had the fighters around him, like the Pacquiao, the Oscar De La Hoyas, big fights, big name opponents. Andre Ward just didn't have that luxury. But like I said, you got to have the skill factor, the it factor, the personality, that will attach the fans. And that's something Timothy Bradley doesn't have. But like I said, you don't got to hate on the man that does. So Timothy Bradley talking about he don't want to talk about Errol Spence because he don't want to promote him. But you are an analyst. As an analyst, you're supposed to answer all the questions. Now you picking and choosing. You don't have problem promoting Tyson Fury, the person who ducked Deontay Wilder and ran and fought 2 bums. You don't mention that, but you try to mention Errol Spence fighting a Sean Porter, a guy you said out of your own mouth, man, Sean Porter is a dog. So if he's a dog and Errol Spence fighting him and you favor Errol Spence, that tells you what you think about Errol Spence. That tells you why he didn't want to fight Errol Spence, because he thought Sean Porter was a dog and he still felt that Errol Spence gonna beat him. Even though we already know he don't like Errol Spence, but he knows what time it is when it comes to Errol Spence skill level. He like, man, I ain't no fool. You know, I ain't gonna say nothing to look stupid afterwards. I'm just gonna try to take credit away from him. But like I said, no matter what you try to do, just because he already said Sean Porter a dog. So if Errol Spence does something to Sean Porter that nobody did and sell pay-per-views like Errol Spence, like, you know, without, you know, obviously Sean Porter is not a star. So if Errol Spence is carrying the card by himself and sells a lot of pay-per-views like he did with the Mikey Garcia fight, then they can't deny him and they can't take credit away from him. Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao, I believe they sold like what? 400,000, 450. You know, Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia sold 375K. 375K on pay-per-view. So if Keith Thurman, a star, fighting a superstar, which is Pacquiao, only sold 100K more than Errol Spence, man, I'm telling y'all, Errol Spence is the man. That's why if Errol Spence fight Pacquiao, it will be a huge fight. That's why if Errol Spence fight Terence Crawford, it will even be a bigger fight. You know what I mean? So Bradley sees that, and that's why, like I said, they try to hate on him. But at the end of the day, you know, you can hate all you want, but that only means more money and more dollars to Errol Spence's pocket. You know, he could hate on Errol Spence all he want, but he's still gonna talk about him, good or bad. He's still gonna talk about him. Now, if he talk about him in a bad way, he's still gonna get exposed. If you talk about him in a good light, then, you know, you're still talking about him. Like I said, you know, people will always ask about these guys, about Errol Spence, about Terence Crawford, about Lomachenko, because they the best in the world. You know, you can't do nothing about that. You know, so you can hate all you want, but, you know, that's their job. Haters got the job too. You know, like OG. What's up, Key? I haven't heard any news article coming out of Buzz Drake. Yeah, out here. Oh shit, hold on. You talking about Drake? I think you talking about boxing. Yeah, I know Drake's still running it, but I'm saying, like, if there's a new artist. And don't tell me Party Next Door, cause that's what you call it. I'm trying to hear some new shit. You know, I like A Boogie now. You know what I'm saying? I like A Boogie, Lil Baby. He go hard. You know, a lot of people don't like Russ, but I like Russ. Who else? Obviously, I'm still with the old 50 and, you know, Power and all that. You know, obviously you always gotta rock that. You know, J. Cole, I mess with J. Cole heavy, so, you know, these my favorite artists right now. So, you know, I was wondering if y'all got some new talent. But like I said, oh shit, my boy said something. You already know, bro. Yeah. So, and they changed the number of the exits, and I'm not used to it. I don't know what exit I'm gonna take. Okay, but so we'll see. I believe, you know, Lomachenko. I think Campbell will give him a fight. You know, a lot of people think that Lomachenko is just gonna walk through him because they don't know Campbell. But Campbell, if he could use his height and his boxing skills to keep Lomachenko on the outside, he will do tremendously well. Let's not forget, he gave Linares a good fight, and Linares managed to drop Lomachenko and gave him a good fight also. So in my opinion, Campbell. If Campbell is able to keep Lomachenko on the outside, keep in mind, Lomachenko won't be able to use his signature move. You know what Lomachenko likes to do? He likes to feint or throw a jab, and then, you know, go to his right, pivot, and then throw combination from that angle after he established the angle and his lead foot in a dominant position, right? he's not gonna be able to do that versus a southpaw. Now versus a southpaw, oh, you got to go like you got to just be in front of him. You know, ain't no better positioning and all that. So Lomachenko favorite move won't work. So he's gonna have to. That's why his not the Corolla fight. The guy that now I forgot his name. The guy that Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out, that Lomachenko fought on 112 round. He managed to drop him in the 11th round, but that was about it. You know, he was a southpaw also, and he fought in a southpaw position, even though he could switch, because he knew Lomachenko won't be able to use his favorite move. So I'm interested to see how your boy Campbell look against Lomachenko if Lomachenko is able to dominate him. If I believe Campbell gonna give Lomachenko a hard time early, and then maybe Lomachenko go adjust, and then I don't know if he's gonna stop him, but I believe Lomachenko gonna win a decision. But at the end of the day, I just don't see Lomachenko. Man, hold on. I gotta mention this. Campbell sparred with 3 sparring partners at the same time. Now, what kind of dumb shit is that? He talking about, like, now that makes me feel that Lomachenko gonna stop him just by hearing shit like that. I'm like, why are you sparring 3 people at the same time? Like, bro, this ain't the Matrix, man. You need to focus on what you need to do. You know, time beats speed. If you time your opponent, you be okay. You don't got to do all this extra shit from, you know, like I said, from sparring 3 sparring partners at the same time. That's too much, bro. You already lost mentally if you do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that Campbell did that, to be honest with y'all. You know, I don't know what he thinks Lomachenko is the Matrix for real. I mean, he been watching too many movies. He think Lomachenko is Bruce Lee. He talking about, I'm sparring 3 people at the same time. Now, that's some silly shit. But I believe Campbell will give him a problem. But like I said, I don't know. His mindset seemed to be weak if he's sparring 3 people at the same time. Like, well, who you think you going to fight? The referee too? The referee ain't going to be hitting you, man. Randy, strap season, man down all day. You know what time it is. Get that strap, huh? Yeah, Randy said Loma wins. I agree with you, like I said, but I believe Campbell will give him a good fight, but not with that mindset he has with all these sparring partners at the same time. Aki, what's good? What's goody? Underground, that's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? What's up, fam? Randy said Loma look for the body. Not a fan of his, but this is Loma. Try out here. Yeah, I believe he gonna go to the body for sure. That's what's been getting him the knockouts, really. His body work. You know, he don't have he got good power. I mean, he don't have good power. He just be setting up his opponent very well. I don't think Lomachenko is a power puncher, but he a good, you know, he will get your respect. But, you know, like when he fought Salido, for example, he never hurt Salido until the 12th round when he was tired. He hurt him to the body. He hurt Linares to the body. You know, so he be hurting a lot of his opponents to the body. So he should attack the body versus your boy Campbell. Hit that like button too. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't see him walking through Campbell like he did versus Corolla. Like Corolla, bro, like, man, that dude ain't even supposed to be in the ring with a Lomachenko. That's why the boxing media is biased, because if Floyd Mayweather fought somebody that's not even ranked on the top 10, y'all know how much they gonna bash him. He fought, what's his name? After Manny Pacquiao, he fought that good dude, damn, I forgot. Berto. Berto was a champion, you know, an ex-champion. And he came off a win, a knockout win versus Lopez, the same guy that years later almost knocked out Keith Thurman. And when Floyd fought him for his retirement fight after he beat the fighter of the decade, Manny Pacquiao, they bashed the hell out of him. Even though before that, let's not forget, Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao, Maidana twice, Canelo Alvarez, Guerrero, Sugar Shane Mosley, Cotto, like all these names. And all these names came off big wins. Floyd fights Berto one time, they bashing him, talking about he a cherry picker, this and that. Max Kellerman, every time he talks about Floyd, he don't talk about how great Floyd is. He talk about how smart he is. Oh, he picked the right fights at the right time. No, the hell he didn't. If he talking about after they came off their biggest win, yeah. But Manny Pacquiao is the guy who cherry picks his fights because he fought Mosley after he lost to Floyd. He fought Margarito after he got knocked out by Mosley. He fought Thurman after he looked like shit versus Lopez. All that, you never mentioned that about Pacquiao, but Pacquiao fights the best. That's why Max Kellerman is so biased, man. And like I said, when Lomachenko fights Corolla, fights fighters from 126, you know, all these guys that he fights that's unknown, and they still talk about him like he's fighting Godzillas in front of him and dominating them. Like, bro, he's supposed to do this to these guys he fighting. He fighting guys that's not ranked. You know, why wouldn't he dominate them like that? An A-level fighter could do that. Even a B-level fighter could probably do that, what Lomachenko did. Let alone if he's elite. Let alone if y'all claim he pound for pound number one. So I never see Max Kellerman criticize Lomachenko body of work. And don't give me that, oh, they ducking him, because, okay, if they ducking him, well, why he turned down a Pacquiao fight? You know, why he ducked the Pacquiao fight? Why he turned down a Salido fight? So it's like, okay, you know, he fought Rigondeaux, but he fought Rigondeaux. Hold on, shit, they see me rolling. We see the popo right here. Ain't no plan, trying to get no ticket. But so I forgot what I was talking about. But like I said, you know, Lomachenko, I never see them criticize his opponents. You know, his opponent selections. You know, he didn't want, like Mikey Garcia, before he fought Errol Spence, let's not forget, he was calling out Lomachenko heavy. He even pulled up on Lomachenko. He went to his, I think he went to his corner. I forgot what happened. It was his locker room or whatever. But he pulled up on him, tried to make that fight happen. Why? Like, Bob Arum didn't want to make that fight happen. Why? Hey, does he not believe in Lomachenko? What was the reason? All Mikey Garcia wanted was a 50-50 split. Don't tell me Lomachenko is this big of a draw, you know. So Lomachenko, when he fought Rigondeaux, he didn't even want to fight Rigondeaux 126. Y'all know how many Rigondeaux, when he was more so in his prime, he was calling out Lomachenko. When Lomachenko was at 26, they didn't want to fight Rigondeaux. Then Lomachenko moves up to 130. They make Rigondeaux move up to weight division. Like, bro, man, I see how y'all be lowballing fighters. Walters, when he fought Walters, he was a year inactive. They didn't want to keep him busy because they didn't want him to upset the apple cart. Rigondeaux was a year inactive. Not just that, he was fighting once a year almost. Getting old, will have to move up to weight division. You know, before that, he fought a guy that moved up from the 126 pound that just lost. So it's like, don't tell me about no deep resume when the guy only had 13 fights, and it's not like all the fighters he fought were champions. Nah, it was cherry picks in between. Like, and I peeped it. And even the good fights, like they didn't give them, like the Walters, the Rigondeaux that he beat, you know, they wasn't in their prime, and they were inactive when they fought Lomachenko. So like I said, I peep what the boxing, that's why I started making videos to begin with, because I saw too much dirt in the sport of boxing. And I'm like, man, this is BS. And yo, don't forget to check out my Dylan U. White B sample video that I posted, you know, because we all know how that goes. You know, we got Dylan U. White out here with a B sample still running away. And they acting like the B sample is something they can't test. You know, they could have got the results for that in a week. Knowledge is power in the building. Aki, what's goody? He threw some emojis. Yeah, them emojis express my feelings about the sport of boxing and the BS that goes around it. Click on that like button. And that's why I get mad when a guy that knows the in and out, like Max Kellerman, you know, like I said, you know, he when he interviewed Tyson Fury, he'd never bring up him, you know, getting caught with steroids. He never bring up Tyson Fury, the fact that he's cherry picking his last 2 opponents, guys that's not even ranked on the top 50. He never bring up Tyson Fury, like, after, other than Deontay Wilder. His past 4 opponents were complete bums. You know, not even ranked top opponents. Look horrible top opponents. Can't even show highlights of them top opponents. Because if they do, then the fight won't sell. Then the fighters will know it's a scam. Man, goddamn, I got stuck in the middle of the... I'm out here too busy talking. Oh, shit. But, like I said, look at the promotion for the Otto fight. They're not even showing highlights of Otto. Why? Because they know he a construction worker somewhere. If they show the highlights of him, they will ruin the scam. And Max Kellerman got the guts while he interviewing Tyson Fury. They're trying to make it seem like Otto is a good fighter. Tyson Fury talking about, oh man, this guy could be the next heavyweight champion. Man, quit with that BS. That dude is a construction worker somewhere. He could be the king, the Burger King. Like, man, what are you talking about? He could be a champion. That dude is not even ranked on the top 30 or 40. And Max Kellerman doesn't call him out and be like, okay, why are you fighting weak opposition when blah, blah, blah called you out? When Big Baby Miller, even though he a cheat, you a cheat also, fight each other. He never called him out and tell him why you're not fighting real fighters. Why are you cherry picking? You see Deontay Wilder fighting Ortiz, a top 5 heavyweight. You duck Deontay Wilder to build the fight, but you're not building the fight with the fighters you fighting. These are supposed to be the questions that he's asking Tyson Fury. But he don't ask Tyson Fury these questions. He asks Tyson Fury questions like, oh man, you know, this is a tough fight. You know, try to promote the fight. And like I said, it looked ridiculous because they counting on Deontay Wilder making the fight bigger, because Deontay Wilder name constantly getting bigger. However, Tyson Fury he constantly getting declining. He's using Deontay Wilder for promotion, really. So I'm saying Max Kellerman, he never called out Tyson Fury for his oppositions. Every time he mentioned Floyd, he talk about his resume and how he cherry picks and all that, right? Even though Floyd got the deepest resume in boxing. So when you got a guy in front of you that actually cherry picks, you're gonna try to cover it up just because he got the complexion for the protection? Really, bro? Like I said, man, Max Kellerman, he's in question. He got a question mark right in front of his name. But like I said, Timothy Bradley knows the in and outs as well. He knows Errol Spence is a star. He knows Terence Crawford #1 pound for pound. He knows the agenda that ESPN has and Bob Arum have. He knows that they looking to promote a certain type of fighter with a certain type of complexion. So if that's the case, why you don't stand up for your guy if your guy is Terence Crawford? Why you don't stand up for him and be like, you know what? I'm tired of y'all promoting Lomachenko on the Terence Crawford pay-per-view when Terence Crawford ain't gonna fight Lomachenko. How about y'all promote a fighter that's actually gonna fight at Crawford instead of promoting Lomachenko as pound for pound #1 on a Terence Crawford pay-per-view fight? Like, that's stupid. So I don't see Timothy Bradley calling ESPN out on that, or at least mentioning it, or at least having your boy support and your boy back. I don't see you calling out Tyson Fury on ducking Deontay Wilder and fighting bumps. But you decide to hate on the truth of them all. You decide to hate on that and not try to talk about that and promote that. Like I said, you're not promoting Errol Spence. You're trying to hate on Errol Spence. Every time you bring up Errol Spence's name, you hating on him. And the fact that, you know, you end up getting the worst of it because, you know, like I said, you can't dispute facts. The worstest thing is a microphone and the camera, like Dante said. So at the end of the day, you know, you contradicted yourself by saying, you know, there's no street on the other side, because then it fired back on you when they told you why you ducked the man then. If there was no street on the other side, and then that street shit came back quick. Oh yeah, he was on the other block. You know, he had guns. They was about man down. I wasn't trying to go down. I didn't want to go to that block. That was Timothy Bradley. You know, I'm like, what happened, bro? Like, you just said it was the same block. There's no other block. You know, you try to act like you were the lion. You run the jungle. Then you turn out to be a cheater. You were running all around the jungle. You didn't want no smoke from that certain block. Why? Because, you know, Line Promotion were there. You know, the Charlos were over there. And, like, that's why I said the same thing about Sean Porter. Sean Porter, that's my guy. He at least got in the ring with Errol Spence. But at the end of the day, I remember Sean Porter sitting down. Charlo was in the you know, sitting next to him. And Charlo just knocked out, I believe, what's that? Damn, I forgot. He from Brooklyn, too. But he was my guy. Luton. Yeah, I forgot his name. But he just knocked him out. And they were sitting in the same table, right? And at the time, Errol Spence just washed Lamont Pearson, man. He just destroyed him. Keep in mind, Lamont Pearson had a draw, or I believe, or beat Danny Garcia in my book. So that fight in particular, you know, Errol Spence just washed him. So, you know, Sean Porter sat down and was telling Charlo, he was like, man, look, you know, I'm all, because they asked him, they were like, why you don't move up to the 154-pound division and fight Charlo? You know, he was right there next to him. He was like, you know what, I support them guys, but, you know, after I watched his last fight, and he telling this to Charlo, he was like, after I watched your last fight, me and my dad, we were sitting next to each other, and we were like, man, hell no. You know, I'm not going to move up and fight him. So I'm like, what you think about what Sean Porter told his dad when he saw Errol Spence knock out Kell Brook? What you think Sean Porter told his dad when he saw Errol Spence beat the hell out of Lamont Pearson like he stole something? He told him, man, I don't want this. I ain't fighting Errol Spence till it's time where I'm going to get paid, where I can't avoid that fight no more. And that's what happened. You know what I mean? So, like I said, time and time again, Crawford the #1 pound for pound. I'm about to get to work, you know what I'm saying? So I got to end this video. You know, click on the like button. But like I said, Crawford is the #1 pound for pound. He moved up 3 divisions. He never lost. He never struggled with an opponent. He always dominated every opponent of his. He never ducked or dodged any opponent. Unlike Lomachenko, who ducked Manny Pacquiao, who kind of avoided Mikey Garcia, who avoided Salido fight, who lost the fight already, who, you know, like I said, time and time again, you know, we lost service again. But anyways, like I said, you know, and Crawford did it for a longer period of time. So at the end of the day, you know, how can you say Lomachenko is the pound for pound #1 when, you know, Crawford been doing this for over a decade now? You know, Lomachenko, he's like a kitten in the game compared to a full-grown lion. You know, also, like I said, you know, Timothy Bradley, you like to talk about Errol Spence or not. Regardless of what you do, Errol Spence is still going to be a star. Errol Spence still going to sell out. Errol Spence still is the most popular welterweight and one of the biggest stars in boxing and one of the best talents and possibly future pound for pound #1 if he's able to beat a Terrence Crawford. You know, and then, you know, sky's the limit for him because he got a big fights at 154. Everybody calling him out now. He got even Canelo Alvarez calling him out now. If he beats Terrence Crawford and move up and fight Canelo, man, that's a mega fight. So, like I said, regardless of what Timothy Bradley do, Errol Spence is still fine either way. You know, regardless of what you do. But you know, it'd be nice if you keep it real. It'd be nice if you support your own people, because the people that support Errol Spence now, trust me, are the same people that supported you during your hard time when you were going through tough time with the Pacquiao situation. Yeah, I know it seemed dark at that moment, but trust me, you know, people had, you know, they were supporting you. The same people that support Errol Spence now were the same people that had your back then. Now, when you talk about Errol Spence in a bad light, the same fans that supported you get upset. They're like, man, this dude, man, you know what? I'm glad that shit happened to him. Even though I wish no harm on no guy, but I'm saying that's how fans gonna start feeling about you, you know. So, like I said, you know, if y'all missed the live, go back and watch the live again. You know, just Go back, and like I said, it was like a 50-minute live where we talk about Timothy Bradley, whole situation, and Lomachenko, and Tyson Fury, Max Kellerman, all that. We talked, we cooked Timothy Bradley up, we put the seasoning on it too. Because like I said, you know, I can't tolerate somebody that's just hate for no reason, you know what I mean? So shit, if y'all wanna end the video, then shit, y'all know what time it is. We got the popo going on over here. Everywhere we go, they see me rolling. They hating, but go ahead, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter about the minute, if you're trying to get dumb about a second. Don't listen to these casual fans. No casuals said we could watch any Lomachenko fight staring. You already know. No casuals. Hey, that's we like I said, it's all boxing experts over here, hardcore boxing fans. So if you're a casual, welcome to the Aki, Boxing University. We take you to school for free, and when you graduate, just become part of the nation and subscribe to Aki TV. And like I said, to be continue on the next episode of Aki TV, salute all day to no casual, real one, so rewatch the video if you didn't. Follow me at Aki TV on Instagram. The link will be in the description box below, and click on the notification bell to get notified every time we go live. And peace. And